Worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow.
This was the biggest mass picket in South Yorkshire since the strike began. There were at least 6,000 miners, perhaps many more, and they stretched back as far as the eye could see. Facing them were 700 policemen in full riot gear, with another 500 waiting close by. There was an atmosphere of real tension, with neither side knowing what the other would do next. The pickets tore the bricks from the police and merely cheered when told to stop doing so. The pickets were in angry mood, furious that 6 NUM members had gone back to work yesterday. This morning that number had increased to 7, and once they were safely inside, the police advanced, clambering over the debris of the pickets. They advanced in stages, and the pickets were a potentially dangerous confrontation had been avoided. As the pickets began to disperse, the police slowly pulled back. One officer was taken to hospital after being hit on the shoulder by this brick. But what disturbed the police most was the collection of marbles that had been fired at them by catapult.
worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
There was a big police presence as about 200 pickets, including 100 militants from the recently closed Polmaze colliery near Stirling, gathered to try and dissuade the afternoon shift from going into Bilston Glen. And it wasn't long before the pickets' frustration at what they saw as a last remaining pocket of resistance to the strike in Scotland boiled over. This afternoon's violence at Bilston Glen was in contrast to the earlier, much more good-natured picketing as the morning shift arrived. But by lunchtime, this was seen as the moderates' last stand. Union pressure had successfully halted production at all but one other colliery, Barony in Ayrshire.